Okay, guys, we're back with another coaching video. Today we're going to be doing Fiora Gold 3 EU West. So let's see if I can get this guy in the call, and we'll start.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Good, good.
So I'm sorry if my English isn't so good.
No, that's okay. We can work through it. Seems fine so far, so. Okay, so playing Fiora, I always ask people before we start what you like about the champion, what you think the champion's strengths are, and you can do if you think the champion has weaknesses too.
So what I like the most about the champion is that he is able to 1v1 most of the champions if you play it right.
Mhm.
Also, he's a split pusher. Like I like this playstyle a lot. One of his main weaknesses is team fights. And for example, Fiora doesn't have as much um, AoE spells like other champions. Also, Fiora is mostly single target.
Yeah, that's pretty much right. Fiora's really good at 1v1s, not so good at team fighting, and so come mid to late game, she ends up wanting to spend more time in side lane than most champions and try and split and pull people to her instead of joining the team and grouping up.
Yeah. Also, one thing, her build is kind of expensive. Most of her items
True.
are really expensive, and I notice if I'm falling behind, it's hard to keep up.
Yeah, that is also true. She's like a gold reliant champion. She likes being ahead. If she's ahead, she's a nightmare, but if she's behind, then she's quite easy to deal with.
Um, like a few days ago, I played Fiora in my ranks, and I didn't carry it all. Like I just had a okayish laning phase against who was that? Like against the Nasus, and there were three echo ganked me, and I was able to 1v2 them at level 3. But then my bot lane died a lot to echo, and my jungler also. I got frustrated and dived the enemy echo. I got a kill, but I also died, and Nasus got a free lane.
Yeah.
That's a problem for me. Like I don't know how to play when I have losing lanes. Cause I'm
Okay.
Fiora, I most of the time want to go split push, and when I have a losing team, it's I'm when I have a losing team, I can't
Yeah, it definitely
carry
makes it
it.
harder, and a lot of that is just the nature of top lane. The role is very like you need your team to be doing at least somewhat well. That's not your fault, but obviously there are things you can do to help your team do better, or also
Yeah.
play around the enemy team being stronger. So we can definitely look into that, and we'll try and look into, like you said, what to do when the enemy's not stepping up to fight you, like how to actually force an advantage instead of just waiting for them to fight you. So
There's a German streamer, top lane main, Tolkien, as he is called.
okay,
And I'm so impressed most of the time how much impact he's able to generate even his top lane. Like he got losing lanes and he's still able to get them back in game by just having
yeah,
building up so much pressure.
that's definitely impressive. Okay, do you want to jump into a rent game and share screen, and then I can
Okay.
you can watch, and then we can do a VOD review after.
Okay. So there we go.
Thank you.
So a few days ago I started playing with all mute calls. I noticed again how toxic most of the people got again.
Yeah, I think the best way to have it is probably pings on but chat turned off.
Yeah.
I think pings are quite useful.
First game of the day. Hope I'm doing okay.
Should be okay, because from the sounds of it, most of what we're going to look at with you is going to be like thought process things rather than sort of
Jenny.
mechanical things. Yeah.
So when it comes to buns, I most of the time bun comfort buns. Like, I know it's kind of weird, but I like to bun Nasus.
Yeah, I agree. Nasus is really good into Fiora.
Like, it doesn't matter what I play on top. I like to play ban Nasus because Nasus is a champion. Like, if he loses, he tries to farm. If he wins, he stomps you. Like, it's kind of frustrating playing against Nasus because you don't have much interactions.
Yeah, it depends what champion you're playing, right? If you're playing Aatrox, then you just kill him. But
Oh, okay.
if you're playing Ornn, then you're never gonna kill him. So what do you find is the most common matchup? What do you face a lot?
What I face a lot lately is like Jax. That's
Okay.
popular right now.
I think yeah, it's gonna be different in different ranks. 'Cause for some reason, in Master at the minute, I'm playing against Garen like every game, and then quite a lot of Darius.
Darius is also played a lot in my elo, but Garen is rare. Used to be popular, but lately it's very, very rare.
Unfortunately, they get counterpick. Let's see what they go with.
Okay.
This is a
I think AD is kind of fine in early, but
yeah.
I'll go with Presence of Minds.
I think this is a really good lane for practicing what you were talking about because Kayle wants to just play passive and scale.
So there, go with Ghost. Now I'm playing with Ghost because they got many range champions and I try to keep up with them.
Yeah, Ghost makes sense actually.
So there are like two to three Fiora builds that I like. Like
Mm-hmm.
one of them is Trinity Force. Then there's a Divine Thunderer. Divine Thunderer is not needed in this game.
Yep.
And also Godwinker. Godwinker could be good. Also Trinity Force, but Trinity Force would be I think too squishy. We got many range champions, so if it comes to team fights, Alice and I have to be the front line, so Trinity Force would make me too squishy.
I think Trinity
So,
Force is the best. Like Gordrinker, you want to be playing against lots of melee so that they're on top of you so you can hit them with the Gordrinker. Trinity Force gives you extra movement speed to get to the range champions. You could also go Stride Breaker to try
Heartbreaker.
and help you get on range champions as well. But like Trinity Force doesn't really make you squishy. Like
No?
it's something that I hear a lot, but I don't understand where it comes from because it gives the same amount of health as Sunder.
But the problem with the okay, they wanna invade.
Fortunately, Discord stream is griefing me again. It always ends up so pixelated, and I don't know
Oh.
how to fix it.
Should I restart my stream?
You could restart it, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe try to make sure the quality's set to 720. See if that helps. All right, it looks good now, but it tends to get worse for some reason.
Mm.
And now it's okay.
Where can I don't know.
Okay, Kayle has lethal tempo. You know what's important about Kayle having lethal tempo?
Yeah, I have to respect her auto attacks and short trades.
Yeah, she actually has a really strong level 1 with lethal tempo. You have to
I
be careful of
noticed that when I played K one time and was able to 1v1 a Darius at level 1 with just auto attacks.
Yeah, the level 1 is quite strong.
So yeah, starting bot side.
Okay, so we know that. Oh, we know they're starting bot side. So,
Yeah.
do you have a plan as to what you want to do with the wave?
Crash it and get a bounce. So
Sounds
it's
good.
like
So, which wave are you looking to crash?
the second.
Okay.
Trying to stack the first. It's already just the second. I mean, third. Oh, I've already failed.
No, I think crashing the third is the best one, but we can talk
Okay.
about after why this is.
So I can go now base or looking for a deep ward.
Either is fine, yeah. Base is good. You can grab Cull, the best.
Huh?
Because
Okay.
you have 450, it's like the best use of your gold. And against Kayle, you're definitely going to cash it in. There's no way you struggle to farm here.
So the graves should be around Crux.
Yep. When you're going back to lane like this, you can use your Q. It's only 20 mana, and it just gets you back slightly faster. So Graves could still, he could be on top grab now, right? Because he's done his full clear, so
Yeah.
you need to be careful right now.
Try to stay in XP range.
Okay, you're fine now, because you have Karthus giving you vision.
No.
Oh, you can actually move.
He's out, right?
Yep. I think you just go back to lane now.
Yeah.
Graves flash. Oh, Rice kills him.
Ooh.
Solid.
Mm.
This is really good. Thinning out the wave so that you can hold it, because you don't want her
Let's
to crash.
try.
When she wastes her spells on minions like that, even though it's a big wave, you can actually just Q the Vital and then parry the minion damage.
Okay. This is an awkward spot.
It is, but you can see Graves on the map, so you're not worried about getting ganked or anything. And I don't think she can ever hold that outside tower. So what's the best thing about having Ghost against Flash?
Lower cooldown and you can still run
Yep.
the champion
So
down.
if this wave bounces back into you and goes outside your turret again, you can look to Ghost on her and trade Ghost for Flash.
Okay, should I watch here?
Yeah, that's fine. Anywhere around there is good. Oh, you can
May-
maybe kill him here. Okay. A small thing that I'll tell you about after you do this. I'll let you focus.
Oh.
Okay. First thing, you can parry the Kayle, you parry the gate, you could parry anything, and it would be better than not parrying anything. The other thing, what you know when you were in the bush and he was walking into you,
I should wait until he faced me right here.
you don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to start with Q. Like you queued on him, but you want to just auto attack him because he's already close. You want to just auto attack him, and
Yeah.
then when he dashes away, then you Q, so you stay with him.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. This way he's going to bounce away from her, and now you know that she has no ultimate.
I can't catch her.
Fine. You got her flash. Now she's no flash, no ult. You just got to think about when it was that she ulted and think about when you think it's going to come back up.
Hmm?
You want to be trying to time the cooldown of Kayle in your head so that you know when you can go on her.
She used a Q, so can't slow me.
Mm-hmm.
I can go base.
Okay, this base was really bad.
Should I stay or no?
Yeah, yeah. Look at the wave.
I see.
So she could just freeze that there for forever if she wanted to, and you'd just be giving her free minions. You definitely don't want to be doing that against Kayle. I think now you have to base, so you lost too much health. Oh.
Hmm. Okay. Peace out.
Okay, this is really good. All you need to know is whether, yeah, Ghost do. I was gonna say whether Graze is there or not, but you can 2v2.
Okay. Think I kind of misplayed that. Should be out.
Yeah, we can talk about the best way to play things after, because the stream is blurry for me. So
Oh no.
nah, it's fine. It always does this. I don't know why. It's a Discord problem.
Hmm.
But in VOD review, it will be fine.
We're gonna base.
Yep. And this time, when you get back to lane and the wave is near your turret, she's gonna have no ultimate. We know
What
that
you
because
say?
she just used it.
Should I go now for Tabis?
I would just get the Indle gem to
Okay.
get Triforce Spike as fast as possible.
It's missing. Bear's pushing in. We go to Kratos.
Yeah, you can go to Gallus here.
She should have ult again. I see. It's fine.
Yep, it's good.
There's this behind her.
She flashed. Well, now she's really vulnerable to you. Okay, good parry.
I'm out.
I was optimistic, but you played it really clean.
Oh no. I got the mana.
I'll talk about why I don't like that after, like what you went for, but like, yeah, fair play. You played it really fucking well, so
Thank you. Do I have to TP?
I would, because then you can hold the wave. So yeah, just hold this wave here. Yep, and only last hit now. Because Kayle now, we know, is no ult, no flash. So
So I just can one head
you
down.
can just ghost on her and you will kill her. If she steps up for farm, you literally just ghost on her and you'll like ult straight away for the move speed. Doing a little too much damage to the wave. This is going to start pushing into her again now. Yeah, when she walks up to E, you can just...
Oh, too early.
No, it's okay, I think. Nice. Nice easy kill. And that's all, like, I mean, you hit all your vitals, you played it mechanically well, but it's not like a mechanical thing, it's a setup thing, right? You set up the wave in a position where if Kayle steps up, she's dead, and you know going in that she doesn't have her summoner spells in her ult. And these are the things that you play around to like force kills rather than sort of wait for mistakes.
So now I try to get the tower.
Yep. Nice. I think she has ult again, but you might be able to
Can
just...
parry?
Yeah. Okay. Timing was actually perfect on the vital. It was really close though.
Yeah, that was more luck than skill. No,
Yeah, you definitely base because... why do you think you base here?
because Graves is now up again, and
Mm-hmm.
even so, first of all, I'm in dangerous position right there. Also, the Brave should push in my direction, cause her next
Yep.
wave will catch up faster.
Go Hydra next, yeah. Yeah, also, like, because it was Dragon that they were fighting over, a lot of the time what will happen is the jungle does his bot side and then tries to do Dragon, which means that his top side's going to be up. So he's going to want to come top lane anyway. Like, you can see that exactly that happened with Karthus. His top side has just respawned after this Dragon, and now he's going back to do his top side.
So we saw Graves here, I guess.
Yep. And then...
She's now top side. So what is now my mission?
Okay, now you want to crash waves into the turret, and then you want basically, if Kayle decides to fight you, you fight her. If not, you're gonna trade a wave for a wave and something else.
Okay.
So right now, Herald's being taken, and you have priority for that, which is good. But like after you push this wave in, you can. Oh, I think you just kill her. Okay, Thresh is there. If Thresh wasn't there, you would kill her because she just altered. So, like last time.
Can I get both of them?
I don't think you should risk it.
Okay.
I think you should start playing like a consistent playstyle now because you're ahead. When you're ahead, playing consistent is really, really good. So the Krugs are down, so there's no way you can do the Krugs, but you can see the red is spawning in 30 seconds. So maybe after the next wave, you could take wave and red buff, or wave and gank mid, or you want to do like wave and something. And Kayle's just gonna get the wave. So you're trading like wave for wave and red
Kayle
buff,
is
or
bot
wave.
side.
Okay. Well, MF altered the wave, so you can't push right now. You can look to take red. You could push mid here as well while your team is pushing bot. That would be really good. Because if you push mid, your team can rotate out of bot and come and push mid with you as well. They don't have to commit to just bot lane.
Okay.
And you have Herald. I didn't even consider that, but...
Still just MF.
Yep. I think it's just the tower. I don't think you get the inhib. Oh.
Oh, she got it.
Okay. Maybe
If
you do
I
get the
would
inhib.
use
I thought someone would come, but apparently not. Alright, I would go back to top here now. Because you already have pressure in bot, so you want to get pressure in top as well.
Mechanically, I think I could play that better, because if I would sweat up QW, she would be slowed.
Yeah. So now you're in a really good spot because you're denying jungle from the enemy Graves, and he needs money. He's one of those champions.
Okay. Should go soon base, out of mana.
Get your Hydra. There's mana and then there's item as well. Where should you go from base here?
Bot side.
Perfect. Why is it bot side?
Because my team should go for Baron soon for the top side objectives, and I try to put pressure.
Yep. Great. And you have TP as well. So in the mid to late game, as a side laning top laner, you always want to be like every time you die or recall, as you're respawning or recalling, you already want to be making the plan. Like what side lane am I going to? Where am I going?
Okay.
Because it's all about like the faster you get there, the faster you're applying pressure, and then your team can do something faster, and you just want to be ready for it.
Team is also bot side. So I try to keep up with my team, or
I would just take this tower here, and then you. Oh, they're going for dragon. That's why. You kind of skipped over Baron, but you can keep this pressured, and then they can do Baron. Like after they do dragon, start spam pinging Baron.
try to.
Good. It's fine to trade ultimates with her as well. Yours is much lower cooldown.
Try to play. I want these minions.
Start spam pinging Baron.
Oh no.
And the best thing to do is press tab and click the little Baron thing at the top, and that'll. Yeah.
Oh, now they're going.
Yeah, now that you move, they're going. It can be very annoying as a top laner trying to play side lane and tell your team what to do when they just don't do it.
So if my team don't wants to commit for the Baron, should I?
What you're doing is good, because this way you probably end up getting 3 inhibs eventually, and then you can't lose. But I don't know, it's very annoying when people don't do Baron when it just wins the game. Like, if you get Baron now and you just siege with it, you literally can't lose. They have no way of defending it, so... Yeah. What's that TP for? I guess just go Baron now. I'd go and help the Baron, and then at about 4,000 health, probably queue through the wall and just look to zone people out.
Okay.
If it looks like they're coming at all. It doesn't look like they're actually going.
So now, can I go base or?
Yeah, you can because you have TP.
Okay. So. Do I have to TP? I think
Yeah,
so.
use it now. Yep, perfect. Because then it tanks the tower.
Mm-hmm. I need some healing.
Oh, the inhib respawned.
Yeah.
Yeah, go and get that. Alright. Pretty good game. Pretty good game.
But this is one of the lucky games, I think, because I had winning lanes.
Yeah.
Only winning lanes.
Well, that helps. Right. Do you know how to send replay files?
No.
Okay, we'll sort that out now.
For I think I have to go to match history.
Yep, and then you can download the replay from there. And if you open the settings of your client in the top right, going to replays, you have a file location for your replays, and that's where they're all stored, in that folder.
So I have to go to my.
You go to
Right.
that folder, yeah, and then if you sort them by like when they were last used, I think it's last modified or something, then you can find the newest one, and that will be the one that you just downloaded. And did you find it?
No.
Okay, let me show you on my screen. I'll share screen and walk you through it,
Okay.
and then you can kind of follow along. Okay, you see this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we go here, replays. We're gonna copy this replay. Yeah, we're gonna copy this replays location. We're gonna go to files, paste it in here. That'll take me to replays, and then if I sort by date modified, so we're 0107 today, so it's this one. And then I've sent you a Google Drive folder that you can put your replay in, and then I can download it, and I can open your replay.
There we are.
You found it?
I think so.
Cool.
So
Yeah, you should have permission to just drag, like open up the Google Drive thing that I sent you and just drag the file in. Aha,
with
there
that
we go.
right?
Yep, I got it. Thank you.
Now I learned something again. I guess you're Nasus one trick.
Not one trick, but I've mained him this season.
I seen on your account you made some guides on how to play Nasus into specific matchups.
Mm-hmm. I basically just commentate over my games while I'm playing on stream, and then if it's a good matchup, then I'll try and use that. Okay. So, the first few levels is good. We get a crash and we base, which is winning for Fiora. The one thing is that which wave we crash, if we keep slowly pushing this one and we crash the next one, it's actually better. If we push a little bit slower and we crash the fourth wave instead of the third wave, it's better, and I'll show why. I think the best wave to crash and base on is fourth wave. In these sort of matchups, sometimes I think third wave crash is good, but in this, when you're trying to kill your enemy, like when you're the one trying to be aggressive, I think fourth wave crash. So imagine this push was slightly slower, and this wave was now here. We could kill this one and then base. So either way, we base, we get our item, right? We come back, but because it was third wave crash, it's a lot harder to... What we want to do is hold the freeze, you know, here?
Yeah.
But why is it hard to hold the freeze at the moment? Or even, like, walk up and contest at all? Like, what's happened in the lane that makes it slightly difficult for us?
It's her wave is not big enough to push fast.
No, this is pushing. This is pushing.
Okay.
The problem is, and this is something that doesn't happen if you crash the fourth wave, she's level 4 and you're level 3.
I see.
And you're only halfway through level 3. Whereas if you crash fourth wave, both of you would be level 4 here. And it's much easier for you to fight over the wave. So what ends up happening here is that... oh, you move down for the Graves. I mean, it's good. You end up with Prio off of this, and you move down, and this guy ends up dying. But now you've got this huge wave to deal with, and we really want to thin this out, because otherwise it's too big to hold, you know? And we want to be able to hold it. So we're just kind of in this awkward position where we can't really fight her. And it's going to end up crashing, and then... I mean, she doesn't make any mistakes here, really, which is good by her. But we end up not being able to hold this. But it's okay. We're going to get... Once this wave crashes and it bounces back, we're going to get a really good opportunity to do something. So, we'll push the next one. The CS is really good right now. You have really good CS. Okay, now this is going to bounce back. So, right now, you should be thinking, okay, this is going to bounce back and come here. And then with my ult, I can look to Ghost on her and trade Ghost for Flash. And then that's going to give me, like, Ghost here, 210 seconds, Flash, 300 seconds. So that's going to give you a 90-second window where you have Ghost and she doesn't have Flash. And that's going to make it really easy to kill her. So that's, like, one thing you can do to set up. Looking to do something with the crash timer is good. Looking to get, like, a deep ward. Here, I think we can kill Graves. So... instead of queuing into him here, you just walk and auto him.
Did he saw me? Cause he
No.
walked
He doesn't
so
see
awkwardly right and left.
I don't know why, but he didn't see you.
Okay.
But if you just walk up and auto him and then immediately ult.
Yeah.
I don't think you even need to Ghost, because you'll chase him with your Q and you'll have your ult move speed. And then also, like we said, just parry something. Anything. But the problem with this is that we used our Ghost, and this was our window to kill her, right, on this wave.
Yeah.
And we've now given up that window to kill her. And this is like... This is the important part of these matchups. It's when the wave is in this position, this is your time to kill her. So you really want to play around that. So you don't want to be wasting summoner spells and ult on... I mean, you could use your ult there, because you'd probably kill Graves if you ult him, but... And unfortunately this crashes into the turret. And now we've lost our position. Yeah. We're going to have to build it again. So we're building it again, and you seem to have good understanding of how to build it. You slow push, you crash, and then you wait for it to bounce into you. And then it will freeze.
Yeah, I see. There was Cartus.
Cartus gets a flash. That's really nice for us, because now we're gonna have the we're gonna have a really long window where we have Ghost and she doesn't have flash. Okay. Here is where... Here's an example of where we're not thinking about how to get the lane into the position where we can kill her, right? So, why do you kill this minion?
I just killed that minion because I wanted that CS. I guess that's wrong.
Yeah. But, if we keep this minion, if we keep it around, it's gonna... Instead of the wave becoming neutral, by neutral I mean it's the exact same minion wave and it's gonna meet in the middle. Yeah? Instead of that, you could... Like, there's going to be more minions for you, and you can just hold it here. I mean, you could hold the wave here anyway, but if you have this extra minion, it's going to push into you even faster. And here we're hitting the wave, we're pushing it back into her again.
Yeah, I guess that's a...
She ends up basing, so we can deny creeps by... Oh, she's got TP, actually.
That was my mistake that I tried to base.
You tried to base here, but you've given her a freeze. And this, like, giving her this freeze comes back to here, or like before, like here. We should be getting this pushing into us, rather than giving her a freeze. Like, it should be doing the opposite of what it ends up doing. We want to pull the wave, not push it. So we don't want to be hitting like that auto there. This auto here is too early. You know how, like, when you want the wave to come to you, you want to be doing as little damage to the wave as possible. And then, obviously, the space is really difficult, and then we try to break the freeze, but it's hard to break because Graves is here. We end up basing. Okay, though, because Kayle doesn't manage to hold the freeze permanently, and it's going to come back into us now. It was really good that you go and drop this ward while your team's doing Herald, because Graves might want to come through here. Looking to wrap around, this is good too. Good trade. Now we want to hold this wave. So, do you know what the breakpoint for a freeze is?
You need at least 4 casters.
Yep. Perfect. At least 4 casters. So this is fine, this is going to freeze. And you can just leave it here. And you just want to... You just want the last hit. Ghosting on her here, I think, is good. She doesn't have flash, so... I think the only thing I would change there is that you have the damage to kill the Kayle without ult, so I would just ult the Graves instead.
Okay.
But you end up killing her and getting her ult, which is good. Now we lost the wave for that, so we need to get the wave back into a good position for us again. So now it is, and we can base and get items while we wait, because we're just waiting for this one to come back. She actually pushes it really fast. And just immediately bases again, okay. Alright, so now we're in lane, we're here. Oh, we're going for a dive? Oh yeah, we're going for a Herald dive, okay. Oh wait, I made a mental note at one point, and I think it was here. So yeah, here, is a really good example of why you need to know what you're going to buy before you base.
Okay.
Because, right, we crash this wave and we base, and what should happen is that you base, you come back, and you catch the wave here, okay? But watch what actually happens. We crash the wave, we base, and then we sit in base thinking about what item to buy. We're still here. We're still here. And now we're going. So by the time we get there, the wave's already hit the turret and we're too late to hold it. But we want the wave held here, you know? So, yeah, you need to be getting... Like, when you recall, you want to be getting out of base as fast as possible so that you can get back and hold these waves. But yeah, if you keep getting the wave into this position and holding it, like the position that we're talking about, then you can force leads in matchups where they're trying to play passive. So, what do you think I don't like about the play you just went for?
Katos was already low in health and couldn't do much at all. Also, we knew Graves is around top side, and I had basically to 1v3 them. If it. Right?
The main thing I don't like is that we've spent all this time trying to set up these windows where the wave is here. And now we're going to have one. Like, this wave's going to come to you and sit here. And then you use all your mana and your ult.
I see.
So now your window is gone, because you're not going to be able to kill her now. Because all your mana's gone and your ult's gone. You can base TP, but I think she'll just crash it into the... Yeah. So, like, if we had full mana and ult, we could hold this wave outside tower, and we'd have another one of those setups.
See.
But now Kayle's just going to push this. I mean, it'd be really good if you TP straight away as soon as you get in base. Like, start TPing now.
I think I need, again, too much time in base.
Oh, but it's okay because you can TP on the minion because it's late enough. Yeah. So we hold this wave. And now I think, is this where you accidentally broke your own free? Like, yeah, you're hitting the creeps here, but you don't want to hit the creeps. Because you're trying to freeze. So, like, don't hit, don't hit, don't hit, don't hit. Hit now, that's good. Don't hit, don't hit, don't hit, don't hit, don't hit. Now, yep. Oh, okay, so you missed the last hit on one, which made you hit the other. That one you hit too early. But the wave's still frozen. But now you just start killing... Yeah, you're killing caster creeps. I don't know if we're just massacring this wave for no reason. And now it's pushing into Kayle. You just need to be patient and just hold the freeze there, and then you literally wait for Kayle to turn up, because imagine... I mean, even now, the wave is in a really good spot for you, but eventually it's not going to be. But, like, right now you have Ghost, you have ult, she doesn't have flash, she doesn't have ult. So she's just a free kill. And like I said in the moment, you played it well, you got all your vitals, you cancelled your auto there, but it's Ghost ult Fiora against no flash, no ult Kayle. Like, it's hopeless. And now, because... So if we time her TP in the game, so if we go back to when she TP'd before, it was like around here. She's just TP'd back. So 12:19, TP's got a 250 second cooldown. So it's going to be like 16:19. Well, she's used it. She probably did it about 12 minutes. So it's going to be at 16 minutes is when she's going to be able to TP. And we kill her here at 15 minutes. So we know she doesn't... Wait, where did we kill her? 16:01. Yeah. So it's 16 minutes now when we've killed her, right? And like we just said, the TP timing is 16 minutes. So this must have just come up. But we can use the fact that we know she has TP to decide what we do. So if she didn't have TP, you could push and take the tower. But if she does have TP, you can just keep this... Because this is frozen. You can just keep it frozen here. and you can make her walk up again and kill her again, and you know. So the best thing to do here would be to keep it frozen because she has teleport. But yeah, playing these matchups where you want to kill the passive laner, it is a case of setting up the wave where you want it and then looking to kill them. It's good that you identify that you can just kill the turret in her face, though. This was close.
Yeah.
It ends up really well, though. Yeah, so it would be greedy to take this wave because Graves is probably going to come top from base. So you can see what I was talking about, right? The stuff was happening down here, and before that, he did his bot camps. The only one that's up is his Gromp. So because it's his topside camps that are up, he's going to want to come topside. Oh no, he's running bot anyway. I guess he wants to join in on this, even though there's literally no way he's ever going to change this. Okay, now he's going mid. I guess he's going here. No, he's going bot. Even Graves doesn't know where he's going. But the concept is that he would want to go top. So we base. Now that the tower's gone, we're in a position where if we ever make a freeze happen here, if we have a freeze here, instead of having to run all the way to here, he now has to run all the way to here. So once you've got the tower in these matchups, the freeze becomes extremely deadly. And because of that, I don't think Tiamat is the best way to spend your gold. I think you should get like Pickaxe Longsword. Because the Tiamat forces you to push, if you get what I mean. Whereas with Pickaxe Longsword, you can freeze. And here, anytime that this happens, you should be happy, really, because they've sent a member to pressure you, and nothing happened. So that means that there's only 3 members of the enemy team on the map anywhere else. And as top lane, that's great. So now we're getting into, like, mid-game. So, do you remember what the plan for mid-game was? That we had?
The plan for mid-game was to build up pressure, and every time Kayle catches a wave, I try to get a wave and something else.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So yeah, that's the plan. And by doing that, you'll constantly expand your lead. It'll just get bigger and bigger, even if you don't kill her. Like, maybe you do kill her as well, but even if you don't, your lead will still get bigger. So yeah, it's about looking for, I'm going to look for this wave, and then I'm going to look for red buff. Or, like, let's say the mid laner was in the lane, you could say, oh, I'm going to look for this wave, and then I'm going to gank mid. Or I'm going to look for this wave, and I'm going to drop vision. Or I'm going to look for this wave, and then I'm going to do herald. And you want to repeat that. As it ends up, you drop herald mid, and no one from the enemy team tries to stop you. Graves just runs bot from base instead of mid here. No idea why. Trading ghosts is okay. Okay, yeah, so you see Ryze is already on this. You could do 2 things here. One is you could go to Ryze and you could help him take this, or 2 is that you could push this, and then the enemy team's got to deal with this here, they've got to deal with this here, and they've got to deal with this here. And if you put pressure on all 3 lanes, there's no way they can respond to it all. So that's why I like going top here. And it also means that you're not sharing farm between the 2 carries, so you're getting more resources in general. And then while you're here, you can look to take all the camps as well. Taking jungle camps is really good. And from this point on, this is where you want to start thinking about that thing we talked about, where it's whenever you recall or die as a top laner, you want to be thinking, where am I going on the map? So in this case, it's going to be bot lane, because it looks like the play is going to be around Baron. But if you know that no play is going to happen around Baron, and that they're just going to wait for Dragon, then you could go top as well. I expected that something would happen around Baron, because they're down an inhib, so it's pretty easy to make a play onto Baron. Especially with, like, Fiora pressuring side lane, but your team didn't want to do it, so... But I don't think that makes it the wrong call, and I think you should always follow your judgment rather than try to adapt yourself to what, like, random players want to do.
Okay.
Because if you learn, like, these fundamental macro things, they're always... Even if your team don't do them, they're gonna be okay. Like, you're not gonna lose anything. Like, you still got the turret here, and you're still applying pressure. And it's not like the enemy team are taking Baron, it's just your team on. So, yeah, the best thing to do here would just be to let you push bot, these two go and do Dragon, and then these two go and do Baron, and then you keep pushing bot, and that's it. That's the rest of the game. But it turns into a bit of a fiesta. But yeah, as long as you understand the concept of, I'm going to get pressure in this side lane while you do this, and then if they come to you, I threaten to end the game, I can also teleport in and help. Like, that's most of mid-late game as Fiora. Like, you want to put pressure opposite what your team are trying to do.
So right here, it isn't a good call to still push bot, because we got objectives, we got kills, we already got all what we want. So if my team decides to stay here, like, they're obviously strong enough to do things. Should I stick to my team or go for the right play?
I would normally... Maybe if Karthus stays, maybe you can all... But I think just opening up this map, like, potentially getting... Like, having 3 inhibs down is just game over. Having Baron with inhibs down is also just game over. Okay. So, like, I don't know. It's an awkward one, because it's like, your team are just going to throw themselves at them for no reason. But should you do the wrong thing to help them not in as bad? I don't know.
Okay.
I wouldn't. I would just go and do this because I think it's correct. And the higher elo you get, the more, like, the better this is going to be, because your team will be more likely to not just int into them for no reason.
So I try to stick to the right plans.
Yeah. So this is, I think at some point here we end up looking at Baron. And this is what's going to happen if... A lot of the time when you're playing one of these side lane champs, either your TP is going to be down and your mid laners is going to be up, or your mid laners is just going to be up and he's going to be opposite the objective anyway. Like, maybe it's a lane matchup thing, maybe they have an Ornn in top lane, so you want to send the Fiora to match the Ornn because she's really good into Ornn. You know, like that sort of thing. So sometimes you're going to end up on the same side of the map as the Baron. And if you remember what we did here, we push in the wave, and then we look to go and help the Baron once the wave's dead. But then a better use of our time is to secure the Baron. Like, the team doesn't really need our damage. So that's why I was saying, once it gets low, you can look to queue over the wall and just zone people out of the pit.
Okay.
Because you don't ever want to get Baron stolen. You know, it's terrible when that happens. And now, you ended up recalling and buying items, which I think is fine. I think the best thing you could do would just immediately be to push top without recalling.
Okay.
Because this is their last remaining tower. If you put Baron minions on this, they have to come here. If they come here, they're not here. This dies. Once this dies, super minions go into their base with Baron buff. They have to come here. If they're here, they're not here. So this dies, and then this dies, and then they have 3 inhibs down with Baron, and there's just no way they can ever defend.
Sounds like I'm playing chess.
It kind of is. It's just macro, and if you follow macro, it's like from this point, if you follow macro, you can't lose. But not a lot of people even in Master, not a lot of people play macro correctly. So it's kind of frustrating. But if you spam ping enough, a lot of the time people will listen.
Okay.
You see how this ends up like it ends up kind of close, like you still win and it's not really that close. But there's a universe where somehow they kill you here. I'm sure you've seen it happen before. You try to end the game like this and you all die.
Yeah.
And the way to avoid that is just playing the macro. You just push this top wave in, take this, take this, take this, and then just wait. Like, you don't even fight them. You just stand next to your minions with Baron buff and just wait for it to die. It doesn't feel fun, but it's the best way to win the game. But yeah, I mean, you played a pretty good game overall. I think the most important thing is you remember these setups?
Yeah.
You did a pretty good job of getting them. Once you get them, don't waste them. There was 2 times in particular that you wasted them. First one was here, where we got the setup, right? This wave's going to come into us. And then we go for the ward, and then we end up misplaying mechanically and dying, and that wastes our first window, which is a shame. And then there was another one where you went for the flashy play around here, if you remember.
Yeah.
But we also had the setup, and you wasted that. And then the other big thing is don't break your own freeze. Because you want the wave there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that sound good to you?
Mm-hmm.
One thing you can do, I'll show you a good exercise. If you go into Practice tool and just pick Fiora, I think this will be quite helpful for you. These runes look reasonably fine. Basically what we're going to do is what you did in the game, and then just see how long you can hold a freeze for. Now, obviously there's not going to be an enemy champion, which makes it different. The game is, of course, different when there's champions involved. So we'll wait for these minions, and then we'll set up a freeze, and we'll just see how long we can hold it for. And if you just practice this, like, maybe every time before you go in a ranked game, use this as your warm-up, or you could use something else as your warm-up, because while you're doing it, you know, you can practice mechanics and stuff, like... Oh, wow. Did a mechanic. Just put a trading W here, you know? Oops, I failed it. So yeah, we'll slow push the first couple of waves, so get it pushing, because now my wave has slightly more health than theirs.
Such unrefined style. In the blink of an eye.
I'm gonna push slightly faster when there's no enemy laner, because there's no one last hitting their wave. But we'll do exactly what you did in your game. We'll crash 3 and then we'll recall, and then we'll just hold the freeze forever.
Okay.
So after I've done this, you can have a go and I'll watch, and then I'll just give you any tips if I feel like you're missing anything. And then you've got like a little exercise that you can do. I missed 1 CS, so report me. We'll grab the call and we'll go back to the lane.
Sharp blade, sharp mind.
So I don't know how long I'm gonna freeze for. I'm pretty confident that I could just freeze forever. So I'll probably do it for like 3 waves. But yeah, just figure out how long you can manage it for. So you see here, I'm waiting until, like, ideally you want to wait until the auto attack that's going to kill the creep is in the air and flying at it. Like, I'm waiting till literally the last possible second. Now that this is going to sit outside my tower, I'm going to thin it a little bit. Just down to the casters. And now I'm just going to freeze it here for 3 waves, and it'll still be a good freeze, and then we'll leave it there. So this looks a little bit big.
They dare not strike back.
So we'll make it a little bit smaller. And we're just aiming for that size of about, I'd say 5 minions rather than 4. Would be perfect. It's still just here.
Is this supposed
It's going to get a little bit big now, because they still have a cannon, and I don't. So we're going to make it smaller. And then here, it looks like it might crash into the tower, right? Well, no, it's actually not, because I'm just going to walk it up here like this. And just keep it here. And this entire time, we're just waiting for Kayle to overstep. But yeah, don't break your own freeze. You just want to sit here like this forever. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to jump in practice tool and have a go?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Just to...
It's really good on Fiora specifically because she likes having a long lane to chase people down.
Also, one thing I like about Fiora, she got many possibilities. Like, she's very mobile due to her Q.
Mhm.
Also, got a lot of movement speed when she hits a vital or uses her ult.
Yep.
So, and also is able to slow with her W and deflects per instance and slows.
Yeah, she has a lot of outplay potential on a lot of different champions.
Yeah.
But yeah, playing your waves like this is how you know, you were saying in DMs that you have some problems with people just playing safe sitting under their tower.
Yeah.
Well, if you put the wave there, they can't sit under their tower because they're not even going to get XP.
Mm-hmm.
So it forces them out of their tower.
I guess that's one thing I do wrong. Like, when I feel like I'm winning, I try to trade all the time with the enemy. Why?
Which makes the wave push. It's to do with the speed up function of practice tool. It's a bit weird when you fast forward the game. Okay, just be mindful that you're pushing a little bit quick right now, but it should be okay. You just want to make sure that the third wave gets here before the second wave dies. Otherwise, it's gonna... There's this really awkward thing that can happen where it's like the wave is under his tower, but like his wave is under his tower, but yours isn't. So you can't hit it, but you also can't base. It's awkward. So this is fine because you're gonna get his wave now. It's a little bit... You see what I mean? Like, some of his minions are under his tower, but yours aren't. But it's just about doable. Like, you can just about reach. But this is just because you pushed a little bit too fast. But you'll get used to that. Like, with the timing of it. The more you do it. But I'm actually quite confident that you'll climb if you play... Like, if you play your waves correctly, because pretty much every fight that you had, except the first one with the Graves in the jungle, you played mechanically really well, so...
Okay.
It seems like if you put yourself in positions where you have a chance to kill someone, a lot of the time you're probably going to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
Precision and grace. Run them through. I never hold back.
Good. We're getting it down to that perfect size. A little bit bigger than what you'd expect is generally the best way to go. So that looks perfect. And then you'd wait for the next wave, and then you can start thinning it out again. And the earlier in the game it is, the harder it is to do this, because the minions are quite scary early. Like, fighting in minions early is very hard. But at those, like, level 9 timers, you had one at, like, level 9, I think you had one around level 10, level 11. If you're doing this, and Kayle steps up to you, you can just go on her.
Okay.
At once.
And it's just a case of having the patience to not break your own freeze, because that's weirdly something, like, it happens a lot. I'd had, yesterday I was coaching Kled, and one of the games was against Kayle, and the Kled gave the Kayle a freeze, but the Kayle broke it by accident.
I see.
Yeah.
Here's something I do kind of wrong.
Took too much damage.
Mm-hmm.
So what you want to do is, in those cases, you want to take the smallest, like the shortest path from the minions to the bush, and you just want to step in and out of the bush. And you'll see
Okay.
they try to hit you, but then you go into the bush, and then you step back out, and they try to hit you, but you go into the bush, and it just keeps, like, it sort of keeps them locked in place, but they're not hitting you constantly.
Insolent.
So you could try it maybe next wave. Also, sometimes the minions will grief and walk into the turret. It happens. That's why we keep the caster minions alive and not the melee ones, because the melee ones are complete griefers. Sometimes, I swear, sometimes they will just run all the way around an entire wave for no reason, just to run into the turret.
That wave is kind of awkward.
Strike deftly.
I don't have to kill these minions.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
You see what I mean? Like, what is that melee
That
minion
was
doing?
kinda right.
What's it doing? Okay, this is pushing back into them now, so
Yeah.
it's now
So
broken. So now you'd start the setup again.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was a pretty long time that they would just be struggling to play.
Do not hesitate.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just practice this, get really good at it, and not give the enemy any space to farm, really. Because the other thing is that if you're playing like this against a champion like Kayle, it's so easy to gank her for your jungle. Like, if she has to walk all the way down the lane, your jungle can just walk in and gank her.
Should I close practice tool now?
Yeah, you can close. But yeah, just bear in mind that you can do that little exercise maybe as a warm-up, or that sort of thing. And try to apply it to your games, and yeah, the main things to focus on are not breaking your freeze, how to set up those windows where you've got the freeze, and then trying to be mindful that you don't waste those windows. And then you've got your mid to late game plan of a wave plus something else. I think if you focus on those steps, I think you'll improve quite quick. Because, like I say, the times when you're fighting people, it looks like you're better than them mechanically. So if you can put yourself in a position where you're taking good fights, then it should be really good for you.
How should I deal when my team falls behind?
That's
Still try to do my own thing, like
yeah. I mean, for the early game, especially on Fiora, like grouping up and trying to help them is not going to go very well. The best thing you can do is try and draw pressure away from them. Like, if you're playing a game as Fiora where you're putting so much pressure that the enemy team is constantly 2v1 on you, and you're not dying to that, like you have vision around your push, you're respecting when they come for you and you're backing off, then your team are playing 4v3. And if they're still getting destroyed 4v3, it's going to be difficult. Like, top lane does require your team to at least be competent. And it is the hardest role to, like, impact the game from. But over enough games, just playing like this, you will definitely climb. Like, that's what happened with me. I play kind of the opposite as Nasus. I don't have any of the match history, but I try to be like the Kayle, and I try to get as much farm as I can. And I don't run around trying to help my team. I play for my strengths, and then later on, I understand how I can use my strengths to win the game. So, yeah.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
So I try to constantly freeze the waves, get as much as possible, like farm, enemy jungle objectives, like only if I can have a lead. So when I have a lead, I try to get as much as possible. Because what I'm doing, most of the time I try to help my team, like looking for a roam into mid lane or something like that. But most of the time that didn't work out, and I just go back to lane.
Yeah, Fiora, I mean, that's something we were looking at a lot yesterday with the Kled, is like roaming into mid lane. It's a lot easier as Kled. You have CC, you have gap close, you have like your ult. It's a lot harder to gank as Fiora, but Fiora puts a lot more pressure on turrets. They probably take jungle camps about the same, but yeah, Fiora definitely has a stronger 1v1 and applies more pressure to the turret. So yeah, I mean, sometimes you're gonna see mid, and like you should check mid when you're looking for something to do, because maybe they're like 5 health and you can just walk up and queue them. But a lot of the time, they're not going to be gankable, and you shouldn't try and force it.
Yeah, that's something I tried this game. Like I saw, I think Karthus and Alistair walk into enemy jungle, and instead of going from base to top lane, I went through the jungle and wanted to have the option open. If they fight there, I'm there to help them, or if they're not, can go from jungle to top.
Yeah.
Let's try to keep possibilities open.
So let's write down the goals here. So 1, because I did this last time. 1, you've got focus on setting up the wave skills. 3, 2, don't break your own freeze. Practice school exercise. 3, don't waste your kill windows. Think about saving summoner spells and ult for these windows. And then 4, mid-late game, expand lead by getting wave plus something else, or just in exchange. Good. I can't type. Still wait. There we go. I think that would be the best 4 things for you to focus on for now, and then because the one thing that I don't ever want to do is give people like 700 things to improve on.
Yeah,
I think it's really hard to improve everything at the same time. I think like having a specific set of goals to like I'm going to improve on at this, and then after that I can improve on at something else. So like the way I did it was I started out, I went really hard on mechanics. I just when I started the game, all I cared about was mechanics. And then the next thing that I did was I went really hard on like team fighting and like awareness in team fights. And then after that I went really hard on wave control. And then after that I went really hard on jungle tracking. I started playing a bunch of jungle as well so I could get a better understanding of how junglers want to path. And then after that I started focusing really hard on macro. And it's like adding things in. And once you've added them all in, then you'll be like a very complete player. Does that all sound good?
That all sounds really good. Like, I guess I have now a better understanding on how I can play winning lanes.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Really
Do you have any questions for me before we finish?
Yeah, there's one thing I don't know how to do. Like when I have a losing lane and enemy is freezing. What should I do? Like,
okay.
when?
So there's a couple of things you can do. One is you can fight them to try and reset the wave. Like if you can kill them, then you can reset the wave, right? A lot of the time, this is stronger early game, like I said, because the minions do a lot of damage. They're going to have your minions that you can stand in your minions and fight them. If you can't do that, then you're probably going to need your jungler to come and help fix the wave. Or in rare cases, you can go on proxy, and that will kind of force them to let the wave crash and bounce. But the main thing is that you can fight them, so I'll see if I can find... What's a good example? I'm not sure, but it is. I will. One thing I will say is that it is hard on Fiora because you don't have anything that can kill the wave without going into melee range of the wave. Like Fiora's wave clear is really bad. Yeah. The main things to think about are if I fight in their minions, can I either? Because you don't even need to kill them a lot of the time. If you fight them in their minions, or in your minions, sorry, a lot of the time, if they, like, let's say Darius, right? His Q is going to kill your minions while he's fighting you. And that's going to break the freeze. So you can try to make them use spells to hit the creeps as well. So like you could walk up and bait Darius to try and Q you, but like you're stood near your minions, so it's going to hit your minions and push into you. So there's that. There's like fully fight them and kill them, or call your jungler and just say, "Can you help me push this wave?" That one works pretty much every time. The jungle comes, you push the wave as two people, and then the freeze is broken. That's the easiest one, but it also requires your jungler to actually listen to you. So yeah.
Okay. I think that's all for now.
All right, cool. Well, good luck in your games, and I hope some of this helps, and you end up finding these kill windows and getting a lead off of it.
Yeah. Also, I want to thank you for the coaching. Like, that's not something that everyone would do.
Yeah, no worries. It's something that I'm trying to learn and improve as well. So yeah, thank you very much for joining.
Thank you for your time.
All right, see you later, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you.